Imagine a woman addicted to crystal meth marrying a guy who is like Chris Brown on crack, just loves hitting women. I would still feel better about that relationship lasting in a much longer and healthier way than any Major League Baseball player on the A's. In February of 2012, the A's spent the most money they ever have. In hindsight, it might have been because they believed the world was going to end, remember that? Well, whether it was that or not, they did. Not that it was anything crazy compared to a typical big contract, even in 2012. It was $36 million for 4 years given to Yoenis Cespedes, a Cuban international free agent, only for them to trade him a couple years later for 2 months of John Lester because they wanted a pitcher. The A's knew they'd eventually have to pay Cespedes more, so that was the decision that they made. And 13 years later, they find themselves in a very similar situation, except it's just way more toxic. Just like the 57% of you who aren't subscribed yet. I'm just kidding, y'all are probably cool. But if you enjoy the videos, consider hitting that button if you haven't yet, as over the offseason, fresh off leaving Oakland, the place they've called home for 57 years, the A's went ahead and signed the most expensive deal in franchise history, which, yeah, saying that is as good as Spirit Airlines announcing they just upgraded their planes. Great, instead of being in a cardboard box with zero Wi-Fi, you'll still be in a cardboard box just with shitty Wi-Fi now. The A's signed Luis Severino to a 3-year, $67 million deal over the offseason, and I don't know what his other offers were, but they couldn't have been very close to $67 million. I mean, this was very clearly one of those, I'm just going here for the money. It's that simple. Not that that's an awful thing, go get your bag, but it didn't take him very long to realize how much of a difference it is going from New York all these years to a AAA park in Sacramento. Severino has not at all shied away from his honest thoughts. He's been very consistent with his bashing of Sutter Health Park, saying that 95% of the starting pitchers don't stay in the dugout. They throw in an inning and then go indoors to relax, and that the whole experience of being in this place has changed his whole routine and rhythm. Severino also told the Yes Network, the network that covers the Yankees, one of his old teams, of course, straight up that this just isn't a ballpark when the Yankees visited town a couple months ago. He was happy to tell them that. Well, this hasn't made the A's very happy, although Severino isn't the only one complaining about the field they play on. There have been multiple players, even the manager, said the park doesn't give him a good view of any play down the left field line. Like, nobody has praised the park. But Severino has obviously been the most vocal. Like, if there was a Sutter Health Park hate club, he'd be the leader of it. And because of this, the A's are done with him. According to reports, they cannot wait to trade him. And Severino's thoughts? Well, let's just say he's not going to stop them if they try anything. They have his full consent. Do whatever you want to do. Might as well just start taking my uniform off myself now while we're at it, so you can just get right to the meat of the situation. Severino hates pitching in Sacramento, and his words don't just tell us that. His numbers and outings show us that. It's like he's boycotting the place by getting rocked but pitching better on the road, which has been exactly the case. His ERA at home this year is almost 7. Almost 7 in 57 innings. His ERA on the road, 3. Although, ironically, he was also crushed on the road back in New York when talked more about how much he hates pitching at home, giving up 5 runs on 7 hits, 2 of which were home runs against the Yankees, who he also got shelled against at home. Yeah, yucky. Well, Severino said he feels like he's pitching in a spring training game when in Sacramento while the A's were in New York. And when asked about the report that said the A's can't wait to trade him, Severino shrugged, said he can't do anything about whether the A's get mad or not, and that he just says it how it is, which is very true. Call him spoiled or whatever, considering he's getting paid millions of dollars. But again, he's not the only one complaining about pitching in a AAA park. And last year, when on the Mets, he straight up said that the Yankees only have 2 good hitters, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. He's obviously not afraid to say what he thinks, and really, I mean, if we're being real, it's the truth. None of this has been anything irrational. Overall, Severino hasn't been very good. Combine that with the money owed to him the next 2.5 years, and I don't know who'd be that willing to trade for him. He's barely striking anyone out. His strikeout numbers have dropped by a lot this year. He's given up the most hits and runs in the American League so far. So I feel like as easy as it is to see a trade happen given the situation, even though both the A's and Severino seem very on board with a divorce, this is one of those rare cases where it takes 3 to tango, and time will tell who that team will be. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.